Today we're going to be doing something a little bit new. We are going to be balancing my bookshelves. Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah. So glad to have you today. So we're going to start something a little bit new on this channel. I'm actually stealing this idea from my friend Caitlin. She's been doing this for a few months on her ASMR channel. Caitlin Reads Books ASMR. I'm pretty sure I'll put her channel right here, but love her, love this idea. Since my last video, we officially counted all of my physical books on my TBR, all my books on my physical TBR. I thought that it would be fun to follow in Caitlin's footsteps and on a monthly basis balance your bookshelves, which basically means you take your number of physical books on your TBR, you add the number of books that you bought in said month, and then you subtract the number of books that you read to then get your new number of physical unread books that you have on your TBR for the end of the month. Does that make sense? I'm not great at explaining things. So I took it one step further and bought us a little whiteboard so we can do math upon it. So I currently have, yes, that is correct, 473 unread books on my shelves around my house. If you want to watch me count all of them, that is the last video on my channel, I'm pretty sure. So 473, it was a bit higher than that in that video, but I hadn't removed the books that I bought throughout May, so this is balancing them for May. So I'm gonna try and go in order of like when I got books and then when I read them, but that it may not work out that way. Mostly because I can't remember. So let's start with Silver Elite. I'm not going to be like explaining the books. This is more just like a fun little, let's see like where we end up. Let's see if I can lower my physical TBR or if I bought more books than I read in May, you know. So Silver Elite was my book of the month choice for May. And I did not read it. So we are going to, I'm not going to do this for every single book, but that brings us up to 474. Can you even read that? And then I'm just going to go ahead and grab a few books that I'd actually started in previous months, but managed to finally finish in May. The big one was Kingdom of Ash, the final book in the Throne of Glass series, literally 1,000 pages. So happy to be done that one. As well as Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. This is a still pretty chunky book. A Brief History of Humankind. And then When Haru Was Here, this one was a really sweet book. Also sad. So finishing those 3 books, I can get rid of that 4, and that brings us down to 471. So we've dropped. I'm going to put 473 up in the corner there so we remember where we started from. I have a feeling, honestly, the books that I bought this month versus what I read, I haven't counted them, so I don't know where we're going to end up, positive or negative from 473, but I feel like it's going to be pretty close. Okay, and then I bought Heavenly Bodies, this romantasy book, and I was also suckered into buying the gorgeous Fairy Loot edition of it. If you watch my hauls, you will have seen a lot of these already, but this is, like I said, I'm not explaining the books now. You can watch the hauls to like see the blurbs and more about them. So we need to add only one book to our count because these are the same book. So that's good, I guess. So 472. By the way, I'm also going to be making an ASMR version of this video. My ASMR channel is always linked below. Probably like 60% of my ASMR channel is book content, and I do a lot of my book content ASMR version and non-ASMR version for this channel just because not everyone likes ASMR, and I don't know, it's just fun. Okay, and then a very exciting thing happened in June. In May. I received my very first ARC copy of a book, which is my most anticipated book of the freaking year, which is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I got this from Tor Publishing. Like, I can't tell you how much this means to me. I'm so freaking excited to have this. This will probably still be in a future haul video, but I'm definitely planning on reading it this month. But that still brings us up to 473. I didn't delete the 2. Delete it. I didn't erase the 2. And then I managed to wipe 3 books off of my physical TBR because I read the entire The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. So there's The Summer I Turned Pretty, there's It's Not Summer Without You, and We'll Always Have Summer, all by Jenny Han. These were super cute YA romances. There's also a TV show about it, which I'm almost done season 2, and season 3 comes out next month. I'm so excited. Yeah, really cute. They were short, so you can kind of fly through them. So yeah, we are back at 473, but because that's a trilogy and I read them all, we are now down to 470. Nice, us. But then obviously I had to buy some more books. Actually, I made a few pre-orders, had a few pre-orders. Let's just do these 3 at a time. So I had my pre-order of Watch Me by Tahari Mafi come in. So who knows when I made these orders, but I got them in May. I got them in May, so we're counting them towards May. I also got my copy of Fearless by Lauren Roberts, the 3rd book in this Powerless trilogy. And then I also, I guess technically this is a pre-order. This was my probably smut book subscription for May. No, I think this was actually for April, but I get them really late. This is Say You'll Remember Me special edition by Abby Jimenez. So we just got rid of 3. I haven't read any of those, so we are actually going to bump this right back up to 473, and for like the 3rd time we are right back where we started. But not for long, because I read this very heavy, might I say, graphic novel series, which is the Heartstoppper series. There are currently 5. I thought there were 5, but there's another one coming out hopefully soon. I would really like a conclusion to the series. So that's the first one, Heartstoppper, and yeah, so I read all 5. They're graphic novels, so they're easy to get through. But my physical TBR doesn't know the difference between a graphic novel and a 1,000-page novel, so we're still going to remove 5 from our number here, which brings us to 468, and for the first time today, we have left the 470s, so that's pretty cool. Although I also bought this trilogy box set by Cassandra Clare. This is the Infernal Devices collection. So this one, I technically have the first book already, so do I only add 2 to it? Actually, no, I took the book out that I have because I was going to give it away, so it's not part of that, so I do have to add 3. Did that make sense? But anyways, we're back up to 471. And then I read another nonfiction book in May, which was The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. This is such a good book. This was like 20-ish years old, and he has a new book called The Revenge of the Tipping Point, which is kind of a follow-up to this, which I'm very excited to read. So that brings us down to 470. I'm not going to show you because we're immediately going to go back up 2 times. So we're now at 472 because I'm adding these 2 books. We have a graphic novel called The Sad Ghost Club. This is number 4 in the series by Lizzie, I think, Meddings. And I also have to add on Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. And of course, none of the books I bought in May, I read in May. So yeah, that leaves us at 472. And the final book that I read in May was The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. This is the first book in like her first trilogy of interconnected standalones. I liked it, but the more that I think about it, the more I think I want to bring it down to like a 3-star. I didn't actually love it. There were definitely issues with it. Yeah. Anyways, so we can bring that down, bring it back down to 471. And finally, the last couple books that I bought in May is another box set of the Iliad and the Odyssey by Homer. So it's a box set of these two classics, and I'm excited and very scared to read those. But that, oh my god, are you kidding me? I just realized where that takes us to. That brings us right freaking back to 473. So I guess in the month of May, I obtained as many books as I read. Well, at least we didn't go up, right? We remained consistent. Honestly, thank God I read all of Heartstoppper, that series, and the Summer I Turned Pretty series. Those two series really helped me out this month. Yeah, that's funny. I honestly didn't know that it was going to balance out like that. But if you like this video, please let me know. This was a lot of fun to do. I think it's going to be interesting, entertaining, and also very helpful for me going forward, kind of keeping track of my physical TBR like this, because if I know exactly how many I'm at, it might motivate me more to, read more, to see if we can get that down. Yeah, I think a good goal maybe for this year to get out of the 400s. Is that a good goal? Is that too much? I don't know. I do buy a lot of books, but anyways, definitely subscribe to the channel if you have not. I have lots more bookish content coming your way. Thank you so much for making it this far in the video. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!